My worst thing is that allergy. You know when you sneeze and you blow like a snot bubble?
Yeah.
I wake up in the morning and cough those up. That's fucking yeah. It's
That's foul, dude.
I remember that was one of those things as a youngster. I saw an old dude outside of the Coquille post office do a snot rocket. And,
The farmer's hanky.
Yeah. Nice clearance and all that, but I just thought it was, I'd never seen it before. And
Wait, how old were you?
I was a youngster. I mean, my dad didn't do them. Yeah, well, it was kind of like I didn't know what it was, blasted it on the, big old fucking thing. But I thought, man, I'll never be that old, gross dude. And I do those all the time, get them, fling them off and shit.
Yeah, that's the only problem is the cleanup on that.
Yeah.
That's what that seam in the crotch, right, of your taint. You just take that little bit that's there and you just wipe that right in the seam of your crotch, your taint of your pants. Nobody looks there.
Yeah.
That's the last place to look.
Or the under. You can also use the underside of a t-shirt if you don't, if you don't mind it being against your skin.
We just did a podcast where Doug explained. You guys probably saw the tweet where he had to get rid of a pair of underpants.
It's a pair of
and socks at a Cracker Barrel, which is that's kind of what Cracker Barrel's for.
Yeah, I can't believe one that that was the choices.
A great place to join in.
Yeah, the Cracker Barrel won out, but what a nice, I had a situation where I shit Doug's pants at a place in Hollywood, so I knew what when he was when I read that I was like, yeah, see, man, all these years later. But when I borrowed some of Doug's and then I sharded my pants and then Doug caught I put them in a bag. That's what I did. I rinsed them out. It was a place where a lot of transformative people would have breakfast. I think Doug had a bit about that place, but I was rinsed them out after I sharded them, and then I went and got a bag at a place next door. I a plastic bag. I went and got there was a place like a hair place. So I just got hair product, and just
like a
mainly
salon. You went into a fucking salon with a shitty pair.
I left the shitty pair of underwear on the floor in the bathroom.
Oh, okay.
And then I went next door to get a bag and some hair products. So I get the bag, and then I put the shorts in there and tucked them. I grabbed some newspaper, and then I went back to the table. And Doug immediately is like, "What's in the bag?" And I was like, "Nothing, man. Leave it alone."
What was the plan, Andy?
I was just gonna introduce them back into the laundry or whatever.
Oh, okay.
I would laundry, but I didn't want to. They were. I think they were like Calvin's.
That's lean times back when you couldn't just throw some underwear away, huh?
Yeah, this was this was early days of the man
living
show.
In the fat times now when you can just have disposables and just throw underwear in the trash.
But if you were shitting your own, you'd be able to make that choice. But I shit somebody else's, and I needed to return them in the.
You thought he'd want them back?
I don't think. I think that's exactly the opposite of the way it works,
right,
there, sir.
I should have probably just done away with them.
Hey, just for the. Let me just say this for the group. When either of you gents asks me for a pair of my underpants, they're yours. They're not coming back into my circle.
Even if we don't shit in them?
Even if it's a gift from me to you.
Oh, what a guy.
Let's just say that's the way I like
that.
To be.
You can do that as a young man, but even anybody past 40, they're blowing out stuff out of their ass all the time, whether you know it or not. It's like a little, it's like a volcano. Sometimes it just sputters a little bit and you don't really even notice it. And other times, it's fucking lava. It's Vesuvius. Run
there's our
for
history moment for the day.
Yeah, I'm Googling that.
Yeah. Well, we ended on shit last time with shit on the shoe, and then we started with shit in our pants. So
I still haven't uncovered.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Issues with Andy.
Yeah. I still haven't uncovered what happened with that shit.
When I was looking at the comments on YouTube and Patreon, it is definitely up there in the top 5 podcasts. People really like that one.
It's incredible.
Oh, great.
Oh, and I'll start off right now by saying, who was that? That was Tyler Jacobson on the Patreon. If you go to episode 186 on Patreon, he has a link to Let My Puppets Come, and it's free to watch while it's there. But thank you, Tyler, for doing that.
Nice.
For the government takes it back down.
Yeah.
It's one of those like the humanoids from the deep. It just disappeared for a long time, and now it's like, wait, it's just right there. It's like, what? What
Andy,
happened?
we've told you multiple times. It's available on Amazon.
I think because of the Republicans' view on abortion and everything, they decided it's time to bring humanoids back. It's a pretty rape friendly. They don't politicize it too much.
The humanoids are definitely not woke. So the right wing is very pro humanoid.
Yeah, and I didn't really remember the political undertone of the. I just remembered the monsters raping people. That's what I took away from it. But I missed that there was also racism in it, and then there was the political thing that's what I think that there's maybe a deeper meaning, because there was like the Indian didn't want the cannery.
Oh, no, if there is, it's by accident.
No, but the Indian didn't want the cannery. Who knows what his fishing technique was and why he wouldn't want a cannery in town? I don't know. But then the white guys that didn't care for the Indian wanted the cannery. But the sea monsters came in and they raped both the men or the women, mainly the women. I think it says in the thing, the description, that they killed the men and raped the women. But I think
they killed the men by raping them.
Yeah, I think they might. I think
that's by Bunga.
That's what I think. I think that
the women were just harder to kill.
Yeah.
They're not that familiar with the wardrobe. Grabbed a dude thinking it was a girl very easily in the scrum that was the seafood fest. Yeah, and it was like a Jaws ripoff. It's worth seeing. That's one of those just really bad movies. It's worth seeing.
I'll definitely watch that sometime.
Yeah.
The problem is right now is because I'm still out on the road and I'm in different hotel rooms, and it is fucking the 17th of October, and you'd think every night there would be a horror movie on one of these fucking channels, and there's nothing. I'm not finding like one to pick from. There's nothing. I mean, they're doing a thing on like 31 days of Halloween or something, but then they're playing aliens. It's like, what the fucking play Michael Myers or something, man. It's really kind of a butt, because I mean,
are you upset about Michael Myers' comeback? Because I guess he didn't get. I made it a little ways into the movie. There's a new. Isn't that Michael
Halloween
Myers?
Yeah.
Halloween ends, and then it's like confusing at the beginning because it's like some other dude and he kills some kid accidentally.
There's no dogs.
There's no dog, but I guess I just read enough people complaining about it that Michael Myers kind of got disrespected. It's like, that's bullshit if that's his aunt, but he should go out in the right way. Why would they go out with some like side story bullshit?
Oh wait, you haven't seen it, but you're just secondhand upset about other people.
I can't. Yeah, I'm not even secondhand upset. I just feel like it's like if you're gonna do one and say this is the big send off, and then have some side story shit that gets in the way of Michael Myers.
Well, we've fallen for this before, Andy, with Motley Crue signing a contract that they're never going to tour again. I mean, they're saying Halloween end until someone comes up with a script and someone funds it and says, well, yeah, we'll bring him back. He's a fucking guy in a mask.
Reboot that shit. It's a good. I don't even know the story. Is he like a drowned kid? Was he like some kid who got?
That was Friday the 13th, Andy.
Oh man. Was that in the kids woke up with the dreams and the guy was in the dream?
That was
it. On Elm Street, right?
Yeah, he ran a motel. Him and his mom.
I enjoyed the Poltergeist back in the day. I thought that was a fucking scary movie back here. You remember seeing that one Did you see it at a movie theater when that came out?
No,
I thought
No,
that
but I
was-
remember being pretty scared. I remember the end of that movie when they end up in like the Indian burial ground and all the skeletons are coming up and shit around them. I remember that.
oh, with Coach.
Pretty
Yeah.
fucking frightening. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I remember being
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
overwhelmed at that moment, like, fuck.
Don't
I
you want
remember
to be
even as a
that?
kid thinking Joe Beth Williams was fucking hot.
Yeah, Joe Beth Williams was hot. You were right.
Wait, who's Joe Beth Williams?
The
She was
mom.
the mom.
Oh, yeah,
Coach,
yeah, yeah.
Coach's
Haley
mom.
thought you might have been talking about
Coach's
the little
wife.
Coach's
poltergeist.
wife. Yeah, Coach's wife. And the old lady was a creepy old fuck. She's not in the Ann Ramsey. Ann Ramsey would have killed that role. There goes to your TV.
They're here.
Yeah, they're here. I'm going out to smoke.
Oh, fuck.
You know, something I found the other day that I was unaware of is there was a prequel to The Grinch That Stole Christmas called Halloween is Grinch Night.
Really?
And it's on YouTube. And it's a Halloween story about the Grinch. And I had no idea it existed since the 70s, and I had never heard of it.
It's that it's that old too, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude, that is crazy. I've never
Yeah.
ever heard
Never
that.
knew that either, but I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
You got is there like is it like the other one, or is it a different whole different artist and everything?
Well, like it's the Grinch in a tux or something.
Well, I mean, like their old standard one that we see, the Grinch with Boris Karloff, is the other Grinch. You know, does he look like the same dude? The Grinch is
He looks the same.
the Grinch is one I remember getting into. I pushed off the Grinch because he was like wouldn't get off of my nephew. He was just like he's scaring the shit out of him. He was a little kid, and the little kid just started hollering, and then the Grinch kept doing his thing, and I had to shove him away. I don't think it's, it's. I'm
Do you have
sure
a personal interaction with the Grinch? What are we driving at here?
Well, I did as a teenager, as I was protective of my nephew and said, probably get the fuck out of here, dude.
He was having a bad time with the Grinch stealing.
Yeah,
Christmas?
but the Grinch is a creepy, if he's done right, he's a creepy looking fucking thing. Should frighten kids. You're in a mall.
Yeah, your nephew's kind of a pussy, Andy. That wasn't that scary.
Yeah. Do you see that?
I don't know. Look at that. Look at this artwork.
Well, that's the Halloween one.
Yeah.
That's not the one that shows up at the mall.
No.
Nobody shows up in the mall.
Well, where the hell are you fighting the Grinch?
That was back in the day. Now my nephew, my nephew fights alcoholism.
Also a mean one.
Yeah. Yeah. It's done just as much damage as more than the mall Grinch. Even if I would have let the mall Grinch just do what he wanted to do, outside of having sex with him, it would treat
to take your nephew back to the shop to be fixed.
Yeah.
Then bring it right back here.
And I got a message from my nephew before that we started the podcast. Is my brother Larry's lifelong companion, his pug dog died, Maggie. Aww. And we always thought we'd have to put, or the dog would outlive Larry. And now, as it turns out, cruel fate that it is, that Larry is going to have to. Aww. Well, I think he'll bury it.
What are the options?
I don't know. I mean, nobody's up to David's in chemotherapy, so nobody's up to burying it. Larry can't.
I mean, a pug. That's not even. That's a couple.
Yeah, you should be able to kick a hole.
With a shovel.
You should be able to kick a hole into the ground with your heel.
Yeah, if he had the old trailer, he could just put it in there.
Does Larry have a stack of tires on his new property?
I don't know. I haven't seen
Throw it in there.
Yeah. Well, there's the tweakers nearby, but I think Larry, he's probably it's like when an old couple, one of them dies and the other one's not far behind.
So you're saying you're just gonna wait a bit?
Like the Queen and Prince
we
dig a hole for two, or like I wanted to do at the vet to see if we could burn, get Larry cremated with his dog. Sprinkle him on my mom and dad.
Yeah, you got to do that at home. They don't do that at the mortuary. You can't go, hey, can you add this
Hey, I'm gonna toss this
baggie?
hey, look the other way. I'm gonna toss something in.
I think I saw. I don't know where I saw it, but I think if you chop them up good, you can put them into a
What?
pizza oven.
If you just put him like down his pants, they won't notice.
Yeah.
Andy, did you say put them in a pizza oven?
Well, if you want to
Chop 'em
cremate
up?
like a dog or a person.
A pizza oven doesn't get hot enough to fucking.
You're only
Depends
gonna
on
make
how
that
And you're
dog
basically
delicious.
throwing away a pizza oven.
Yeah, you're not going to want to make pizza on it afterwards. I mean, it'll do the job, but you got to run it for 5 or 6
This crust
days.
looks cooked, but it's got a weird smell.
Yeah.
It's like Jeffrey Dahmer's place. I'm cutting. What did he say in the show? I'm making. I had some pork chops that went bad, or
I never watched it, so I don't know.
oh, you didn't watch it?
What did he blame?
Yeah.
He blamed the smell on bad pork chops.
He kept saying, yeah, like the fridge. He
Bad meat.
Yeah, bad meat in the fridge, and he's gonna get it cleaned up. And then it happened all the time.
But what were they smelling?
Well, I don't. It's hard.
Dinner?
Yeah.
I mean, he's
Jeff,
well,
his neighbors are complaining about a bad smell, and he was
bad.
saying,
Yes. The
Yeah,
stench,
for years.
Yeah.
But what were they smelling? Was it rotten
Dead-
bodies?
Lots of dead people.
Asian people, and
All
black
right, I don't know. I
folks.
don't know the story.
You know what
guys.
happened to Jeffrey Dahmer?
What?
was
Yeah, but I didn't know that he just left bodies laying around rotting on his fucking couch.
He
it was
could
like
eat 'em that
it's just the
fast.
Puerto Rican dudes in the drains and stuff.
Oh,
he cut him up, and then it's a. You
I know he
should
cut him
watch
up, but that's how you get rid of them, right?
he also laid with them and shit. He
Party.
he did like a
Well,
weekend
he
at
was-
Bernie's thing, but he took it a little further.
Yeah.
Well, his ultimate goal, wasn't it, was trying to make like a sex zombie.
He just didn't know how to get to first base with somebody here. I think he just was really,
Well,
he had
he
trouble with
certainly-
it.
Took an interesting approach.
Yeah, instead of
Asking.
ripping guts out of animals, maybe he should have asked a girl out or something. Or, I don't know. I
It's
guess
simple
he
when
wasn't
you
in-
say it.
He didn't
Andy.
seem to be interested in girls that much, so that
No.
probably wouldn't have. I'm like his grandma that thought he could just pray it away, or I'll pray for you, Jeff. But yeah, I don't think Jeffrey Dahmer would have been helped by a healthy heterosexual relationship, as he had the urge to keep men in a mummified state.
Yeah, that does seem to be a hindrance to any sort of other healthy relationships. Having a lot of
miss
dead
that
people in
from-
your house.
It's hard to invite
It's great.
people over.
It's
Yeah.
great this time of year for Halloween. Is the butcher coming back?
I won't be home until the 1st of
Yeah.
November.
Oh man, yeah.
But I did
Butcher's on-
a bunch of stuff. A bunch of props went to the Shady Dell.
Mhm.
Justin's gonna try and scare everyone, his employees. I don't know how OSHA feels about that, but
oh yeah.
I gave him a bunch. I just say, hey, come grab whatever you want. He's like, and he was telling me how he scared the shit out of everyone last year. The problem is that he's not scaring neighborhood kids. He's scaring like his wife and
Yeah.
and the guy who like does
Well-
the construction on site. I go, yeah, but you already got them. They're gonna know.
He's got to do like a whole hire some actors to be the
Yeah.
tweakers that show up one night that they have a bad feeling about, and they argue and these
Yeah.
trash bags and
I think the Shady Dell would be a great place to do a movie.
oh man,
Absolutely.
Like a slasher movie. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
The shady hell.
yeah.
He's not doing Halloween. He's doing yearly security, trying to keep tweakers out of there.
He's doing something
it.
this year.
Yeah.
Someone's
Man.
rented out the whole place. Like
I'm already envisioning Kenny as a security guard getting his head,
I don't
hacked.
use Kenny, man. He lasts 5 minutes and then he takes off and he takes the mask off and he's gone. And like,
And he's one of the dudes he's trying to keep out of there. What are you talking about?
Kenny needs a mask to get in there to order breakfast.
So Chad, you're saying that he's running it like a Scooby-Doo operation. He's trying to make people think it's haunted so that the tweakers and sketchy people will actually stay away.
Yeah.
That's actually brilliant.
Yeah.
And it's right next to the cemetery,
Cemetery.
the Bisbee
Old
Cemetery.
cemetery.
Yeah.
Is it? I've never noticed it.
Well,
Is it?
well,
I guess
the
maybe.
cemetery used to be in the middle of Old Bisbee, and then everyone started getting sick. and it was because the water supply was being tainted. So they moved the entire cemetery to where it is now. When they moved it, they actually like had some planning because they actually had more land. And then I think some high school or college project actually went through and made a map of where everyone, like they've got certain areas for World War I, World War II. They've segregated some of it. It was a different time, but the students went in and actually have a map that you can go and you can find relatives, or if you just want to do some people just like looking at old graves.
Do some grave digging.
Mm-hmm.
No digging.
Find a girlfriend.
Find a girlfriend.
They don't currently bury people there, do they?
Yeah, they do all the time.
Really?
Yeah, and you can see there's certain people that were really they were the rich people from the mine, and they got big vaults and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, those are. Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, I get if it's like, a big thing, but like it's just some big family thing that's like a huge stone. It's like, why would everybody's just trying to get along here. Everybody should just be cool.
Are you talking about people who get buried in like?
Well, like just in a regular
cemetery.
cemetery. Yeah, like if it's like, George Washington or something, sure, have at it or whatever. But if you're just in a regular cemetery, why do you got to show up all your neighbors by having a?
Because that's how you show up your neighbors.
Yeah. The last thing.
I hope you get your teeth kicked in underground, you fucking showy motherfuckers. I hope your jaw gets ripped off. You get dragged to hell.
And you lose it.
Yeah, I hope you get dragged to hell because of that pricey fucking marble.
So I listened to, I think it was a YouTube like video that I ended up listening to on accident, or maybe an audiobook podcast. Fuck, I don't remember. But this guy in this little town had bequeathed all of his money to he left all of his money to the town, but he
don't worry about these guys, Chad. They're children. They're Philistines. I liked it. Bequeath.
He put in a certain percentage to be used as his monument in the cemetery. Well, he fucked up because he ended up dying a lot later than he expected, and his trying to think of a dumb down. His monies ended up being a lot bigger than he expected. So the town had to figure out how to spend a shitload of money to build this giant tomb for this guy. And everybody kind of thought he was a dick. Like Andy said, they were like, what a fucking asshole he was. And they did the research and turned out, no, he wasn't really that big of an asshole. He just, didn't expect to have that much money when he died. And he just put in as well a certain percentage.
It would. So what they do? Make it like a water park or something, like a water slide. You got to do something like a zip line.
The Bequeef slide.
Just couldn't resist, could you? Just couldn't resist.
I think the rumor in the town was that he hated his family so much that he didn't want to give them any money, so he put all of his money into his.
That's a move.
Tomb instead of giving them money.
Good for him.
The book I'm reading right now, trying to read, is it's called The American Way of Death, and it was published in 1963 by Jessica Mitford, and she basically just lit up the mortuary industry of saying how ridiculous it is, and like how illegal, like these morticians, even to this day, they'll tell you something. Well, you have to do this. You don't. It's fucking absolute bullshit. And in the 60s, when she did this, it was fucking crazy because the morticians were all up in arms, and she would go give a speech somewhere and there'd be like 10 dudes all sitting in a row, all wearing black. And they were all morticians there to try and disrupt her speaking to a college and stuff. It is so fucking, is such a good book about how mortuary science is just back then and still to this day. You could not buy a casket unless you went through these people, and the way they set up the showroom, the tricks they use in selling to try and get you to, they know they're going to get you at this level, but the way they do it, they soft sell you in and then bring you down and then they end up right where they wanted to get you at. It's fucking insane. And it's great. And it was redone in the 90s before she died. So they revisited it, and that's the book I got. So they have updated prices and stuff. It's fucking amazing. It's American Way of Death.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's a
I'll
booming
wait for the
business.
Netflix movie.
Oh man, I wish it was on audiobook because now I got to read it.
That's why you got to get yourself a big pizza oven.
Cut
Save
yourself
your
up
fa-
into tiny pieces.
Tiny
Yeah,
pieces.
just have
like
the
bagel
family, you
bites.
know. Yeah, have somebody come in and do it for the family, slice you up.
Yeah, they used to tell you, yeah, you can't. Yeah, it's illegal for you to transport a body, or you can't use. You have to use some kind of a receptacle for the body to be burned. It's like, no, just put it in a fucking paper box. That's illegal. We can't do that, sir. Sir, I'm gonna have to ask. And it's like, you're lying. But you're lying to people who are in grief. What's that?
Or embalming fluid.
You don't have to embalm
Don't have to
anyone.
embalm,
No one
yeah.
has to be embalmed.
Caitlin Doty is the one that I've listened to audiobooks on.
Yeah.
She does that Ask a Mortician.
Oh, that's good on YouTube. Yeah,
on
she's really
YouTube,
good.
but she's really good on audiobooks.
And you guys are weird.
Yeah, we are. I just got her latest one called Will My Cat Eat My Eyeballs?
That's good. I saw that.
I haven't listened to it yet, but it's just a collection of questions that kids ask, like, what would happen to my body if I got kicked out of a spaceship and just fucking off the wall shit? So I'm like, oh, I want to know
That's
that
cool.
stuff.
Yeah.
The part I'm reading
Yeah.
about right now is talking about coffins that they've had to come up with a different way of presenting something that was more costly, and they play on everyone's fear of basically liquefying and becoming, going back into the earth. So they have vaults so that it won't collapse. So you'll be protected from the earth forever. And it's like, what the fuck? You're basically liquefying in a hermetically sealed coffin that is metal, which is going to rust eventually. They've got asphalt lined and concrete lined coffins.
When I die, I don't want to be an imposition to my family or anything. I just want them to carry me up to Mount Everest and leave me up there.
Yeah, something simple.
Oh, you
classy.
of course you'll hire a Sherpa.
Like, hey, did this guy die hiking up Mount Everest? No, he died in America. They hauled him over here. They dragged his ass.
He's wearing sandals. How did he even get up here?
Overdose.
No boots.
Overdose at the top of Kilimanjaro. Are you kidding me?
Make a mystery of it. Like, the guy's in flip flops and a fucking wife beater. What the fuck? Of course he's dead. He froze to death.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. There's got to be a funny thing you can do. Because I truly wouldn't give a fuck. I've told my kids that you just donate my body to, the science, whatever.
Can't do it anymore. There's too many.
Can't do that.
There's
They
too
don't
many.
take them. They don't take them anymore.
They just put me out in the dumpster on fucking take any kind of garbage day.
Yeah, whatever they did with my gallbladder is fine for the rest of it.
I mean, really, they should have a bin. They got the green bin for your trash. They got the blue bin for your recycling, and then like a black bin for the dead body.
Wouldn't it compost? Wouldn't you compost?
Yes, that's a new thing they're doing right now is composting bodies.
Yeah, you
Really?
can put into like some tree roots, right?
Like,
They'll
well,
bury you in like a tree.
How they did it on Breaking Bad is they put you in the body in a tub with some stuff to break it down better. So that would be all right,
And
you're dead and you're out back at your house for 6 months in a tub, and then they just pour you out.
And I'm poorly describing it, but in one of these audiobooks that I read, it's like a centrifuge with high pressure water where they basically just liquefy you down, and then you just are washed down, into.
I also enjoy Andy's idea of being just, launched out into the air and you just land in a lake or something.
Mm-hmm.
With a
trebuchet
trebuchet.
through what do they call those? The catapult.
The trebuchet.
Yeah,
It's fine unless you're the guy fishing.
what do you call that?
You can't be a burden to like an innocent person.
That's why, so when I used to
Fishermen
throw
are
down,
not innocent.
when I would throw
They
fruit,
knew their
Oh,
chances
that's
when they
true.
got in that boat.
when I threw down fruit at I'd get like apples or cherries would just throw straight up at the windshields of vehicles. but an apple, you drill a hole in it and put a firecracker in it and throw it directly at the windshield. That's what I would do in the catapult, as I call it. You call it a sling blade, but as a
No one said
catapult,
sling blade.
well, I know that, but as far as a catapult, I would want to implode on impact or something,
Yeah.
like be rigged for, like you hit the wall and just implode. That'd be the way to do it.
I'm not sure that
way.
implode is the word you were looking for
Yeah.
there, but
Yeah, emotionally.
fireworks would be fun, just to have a whole bunch of fireworks jammed into you and then just
Mhm.
boom.
Just for a
like that
combination of
whale on the beach. I
Yeah.
don't know how that would
Yeah. Yeah.
The exploding fucking humpback.
Yeah.
Well,
Just raining Brett.
get a
just
hot air
people for their
balloon,
morning run. Like, what the
Ah.
fuck?
hot air balloon, and some fireworks.
Once again,
You're
you're
rigged up.
impacting the living when you've got
Yeah.
that balloon's got to come down somewhere.
I don't think
Well, try to do it over the desert, so it's low impact.
I live in the desert.
Yeah.
It's always shit going on. You go, oh, that's a spaceship, and no, it ain't. That's just the dude killing himself. He's on a lawn chair with a hot air balloon, and he's got some dynamite and firecrackers and a pistol. Starter pistol to give everybody a
See,
heads
now
up
we've
as
morphed
to-
into something else because we were talking about what to do after with our bodies after we were dead, but now Andy's
Yeah.
morphed it into how to
Well, I used to think
Yeah.
that, like you could ditch a family member or whatever to save on that, but you'd have to cut their head off and their hands.
What?
I mean, if you were to you just wanted to save on, say your grandma died
Yeah.
and you didn't have the money to put her in the ground, you'd get rid of her head and her hands and then leave her torso at the laundromat. Not me, I'm just
You
saying.
really thought that one out, Andy.
No, man, my grandma, I helped illegally plant a headstone. Why would I do that if my grandma wasn't properly buried there?
So what do you do with the head and the hands?
Yeah, you just get a
Well,
GoFundMe.
sack them up.
Sack them up, but they got to go somewhere.
Well, I know, but
Yeah, you
back
got to
in-
ditch those. That's the
Yeah.
tricky part. But
Well,
the
Then who
torso,
draws
I
that
mean,
short straw of cutting off Nana's
not
head?
if you, I would guess if you bagged it up a bunch and then you
Beat
I
it
did,
with a sledgehammer until it was
Pulverized?
unrecognizable. Yeah.
right.
make sure
I
you
did-
take their ID out of their pocket.
Oh
Yeah.
shit! Forgot one thing.
Triple-
Hermetic
triple-
alert bracelet.
Triple
I got the
bag that.
hand, but I left the
Yeah.
bracelet.
You triple
Yeah.
bag that head and then you put an asbestos bag on the top of that. So
Why asbestos?
Because people won't tamper with the bag
Oh,
if they
they
think it's got asbestos in it. If they're looking for grandma's head, they might just look the other way.
I don't
Oh,
know.
never
It feels like a head, but it says
Yeah, but hey,
asbestos in the bag,
Erickson,
so
back up. That's asbestos.
set it
Don't want to
down.
mess with that.
Every time I've run across another bag of asbestos, I've left it alone.
Yes.
They bag
Yep.
that stuff up like that.
Yeah. You don't ever look through it.
Hey, detective, don't touch that asbestos.
Asbestos
I
bag.
did a fair
Back
amount
up.
of asbestos removal
Mhm.
on the time card anyway. I mean, I didn't do much. I'd show
You were-
up and then get
You had hours to turn in, but you really didn't have much experience back
That's
then.
It turns out to
slow.
be the smartest thing you've ever
Yeah.
done.
Absolutely.
I was always real slow about suiting up, and other guys were quicker about it. So then I would get posted closer to the door or whatever, and then I would be like, "Anybody want a big gulp or let's go get?"
Coffee run.
Yeah, I go do a run, and then So those guys are all dead of mesothelioma or whatever. I'm the only survivor, so I went to get the sodas.
Oh,
Some of that fucking Camp Lejeune money should be coming my way, but my
Dirty
little
water.
outfit, man, they want you. They kind of, it's like you don't want to enter into it live, but they keep asking you, or they keep telling you there's millions of dollars out there. It's like I may be
well, the
repressing
government has
memories.
deep pockets,
Yeah, I may have repressed memories, but I did a fair amount of drinking, and those years were included.
You think you might have
So,
joined the Marines?
I could have very easily been at Camp Lejeune and been blackout drunk and not really, you know, that's
You
maybe where I
did.
got.
Think you ran the light on a one-nighter at
Look,
Camp Lejeune?
I was around so much Roundup back in those days. I would black out and wake up
Could have done
anywhere.
anything.
Yeah, yeah. They didn't get back to me either. You know, about Roundup.
This is still your bid. To
I sent
try
in
and
a
get
thing at Camp Lejeune, but I didn't offer up any proof. I just and they didn't. You know, it's like you're recruiting. You have infomercials about it. It's like, what do you want me to say? You know, do you have, you know, I'll sign off on a baby, you know, that's me. I'm a baby there in the Camp Lejeune water fountain.
What do you think they're going to try to figure out who is there by looking at old grainy black and white pictures? And you're going to be like, yeah, that's me.
They're just looking for people willing to admit it.
Yeah, I had to have been there. Where is that? North Carolina? It's practically my
Andy,
stomping
I was
baby.
thinking about you the other day when we were in North Carolina. Well, we're in Raleigh right now, but we were traveling, and a news article came on about a news story came on about a guy who was trying to get a class action lawsuit going, and I immediately thought of you because I know how you're trying to grab onto one. The guy was trying to get a class action lawsuit against Texas Pete's hot sauce because it's not actually made in Texas. It's made in North Carolina. And that's what he's trying to do is to get damages from Texas Pete's. I thought maybe you could get in on this one because I don't think there's a lot.
It caused me cancer.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know
New York City.
Yeah. I'm going to say that I don't think it would take a very good lawyer to get you out of that. That doesn't imply that the hot sauce is from Texas. That implies Pete was from Texas.
That implies Pete has a nickname, Texas Pete, not even that he's from Pete. Texas.
Right, exactly correct.
Maybe Pete's dick is the shape of Texas, and that's how he got the nickname.
There you go. That'd be a weird dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe Florida.
Maybe it's as big as Texas. I mean,
As
maybe
big
I'm weird.
as Texas.
It's the shape of Florida.
Yeah.
Feral. So what happened? Wasn't there something happen in Raleigh recently? I mean, they just got hit with.
Yeah, there was a shooting.
There was a shooting.
Okay.
I think.
Oh yeah, neighborhood shooting. Like
15-year-old kid shot a bunch of people.
Yeah, just hanging out near like a trail or something.
Yeah.
It's not a problem though. We should have more guns, and kids of all ages should be encouraged and allowed to have them. There should be absolutely no restrictions.
Don't worry about guns,
otherwise,
man.
It could be un-American.
Guns are not the problem. What's the problem is people are putting fentanyl in Halloween candy, and they're going to give it to all these kids, and they're not even going to proper dose that shit.
That's just a horrible business model. I don't understand why anyone.
No, I mean, like they tried to smuggle.
It's Republicans trying to gin up some more support for getting the Republicans to be tough on.
I don't know that was there ever a kid who bit into an apple.
Never,
on
Halloween,
not one case,
has been reported.
Yeah, I mean, I know that there could be like some mix up with gummies or some shit, that's not going to send somebody in a tailspin. Unless it's
the picture that was floating around with the urban myth about the fentanyl was that they basically look like Skittles or like Sweet Tarts. They're all different colors and everything. But fentanyl doesn't come in different colored pills form. It's not. It's just it's ridiculous to think that that's going to be.
I had it in a nice.
They want you to be nervous and scared about something.
Well, and that's like here they had it, and there was an article, and it was it's like hidden in Legos, and it's like all this, and it's not because they're marketing it to your kids. I said they hide illegals in loads of fucking lumber too. They're not building decks out of Mexicans. It's just to disguise it while they're fucking smuggling it. You fucking morons. It's a fucking false analogy you're making.
Yeah, they didn't think you were going to look in the Legos. That's why they put it there.
Yes. You fucking idiots.
Oh, you sent the drugs to the daycare? Oh no. Fuck
Yeah, there's your fentanyl candy right there. It's gonna be killing kids.
You could.
Yeah, because that looks like Skittles. Yeah, give me a
Goddamn
handful of
woke
those.
ass fucking fentanyl dealers.
Back in my day, they would give you homemade shit too, and you just eat that shit.
Yeah, candy
while you
apples.
were out,
I know
a lot of
that.
times, you'd have while you were out, you didn't have nobody.
I think we hit upon this one year. This is how long we've been doing this podcast. But we would always have at least 2 or 3 people in my town that gave out popcorn balls. You ever get a popcorn ball?
We've talked about this for sure because my grandma will still make popcorn balls. Yeah.
God damn it. That's good stuff.
There's places in the South where they still sell popcorn balls in like not like a Love's or a Pilot, but like at a small little stand in the South. You can still get those.
Aunt B, that is good.
You know what? I think my aunt was telling me she still has some of those fentanyl patches from when my uncle was in hospice. I bet if I put those in the syrup and made popcorn balls, those would be some fantastic
would be legendary
treats for the desert.
Yeah. Yeah. How many milligrams does Spider-Man take usually? I got some fresh cookies that just came out. Yeah, that'd be funny. Well, we don't get trick-or-treaters here, but just to go, oh, okay, well, I just made some warm cookies. Here you go. It's like off the spatula to see how people would react. I think they'd still take it because I think that you could probably dose people up good with cookies.
I think you'd have a bunch of cookies at the end of your driveway.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. Like
I'd take a cookie.
You can see where I know. I mean, I'm
pretty trustworthy. Especially if it's a cookie. I'd be pretty easy to trick. Someone gives me a cookie, even if I thought they were pretty sketchy. After a few minutes and they weren't around me anymore, I'd be like, I don't know though. This cookie looks pretty good.
Depends on how hungry you are too, man.
Probably fine.
That's what
try it.
That was DoubleTree's corporate strategy. Is like, what if we just give people a cookie when they check in, and then they're just kind of cool with how the room is.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be worried that there's fentanyl in my cookie. I'd just be worried about how sketchy their kitchen is, and the cookie's probably going to taste like shit. I'm not eating anybody.
I'm willing to risk it
for a fentanyl cookie.
Any cookie.
Oh yeah,
Andy's hoping it's a fentanyl cookie.
I mean, like, I'm not a spokesman for it, but it sure hit the spot when I needed it. When I was down on my luck.
It's effective.
Oh yeah, it was I would have taken anything if they would have said, we can bring a small club in here and hit you in the back of the head. I would have gone, yeah, let's do it. But fentanyl, it sounded just like, yeah, hell yeah. It's like, that's on my bucket list anyway.
Yeah, I've been meaning to check this shit out. Fire it up, lady.
I don't have the time to go around going door to door looking for it in Halloween.
I don't do as many gigs as I used to do, so I'm probably not going to get this handed to me after a show. So yeah, let's do this.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. What was the one? Klonopin. That was the one that gave me some
good stories.
Yeah, some good stories. Banged up my vehicle. Oh, darn you, Big Pharma.
Oh yeah, it was Big Pharma's fault that you took a heavy handshake from someone at the merch booth.
You've won this round, Big Pharma.
You won this round, Big Pharma. But I'll be watching you.
But I'll be back. You haven't seen the last of old Andy Andrist.
Yeah, I'm glad I got out of the Klonopin, the clutches of Klonopin, because that one did me no favors. Whatever that one is supposed to help, I don't have that situation. And whatever that is to unravel.
That was a fucking great story, dude. That's when we first started doing this podcast too. That was because Klonopin was, you were on Klonopin at the airport in Florida, and you were sleeping on the floor of the fucking terminal. It's like, oh, Jesus Christ, what a fucking adventure.
I know, it's terrible.
Helping bus crashes.
Is that what you were a first responder in your own head?
It was right before.
Yeah, I could be like Gary Busey right now, but I chose to get off that shit. His is just nutty, but
Chaille, that when you move back, the
Yeah.
popcorn ball looks like your
Becomes
hair.
your head.
It fucking looks
yeah.
fantastic.
Oh man, yeah. That's why, yeah. There's a lump of hair in this cotton ball, mama. Wow,
You
yeah,
look
that's
like
a pretty.
Napoleon. You look like Napoleon
How come-
Dynamite.
How come
If
there's
I can
nobody's
get a
ever done a
picture.
wig like that? That should be a
Popcorn ball
standard.
wig?
Yeah, popcorn wig that should
Everyone
be
would
like-
eat it.
Yeah.
It's sort of in between a clown and one of the
Trying to
founding
get it-
fathers.
Delicious snack.
Oh,
Uh-huh. Founding fathers would have wore that on their head. Those
I like
fucking
it.
weird motherfuckers.
Trying to get it just right so I can snap a screenshot.
That's a good bit. I recommended a couple weeks ago that Byron Bowers special on Hulu. He does a great bit on there about how like back in those times, like that was baller. You know, it was like, no, pimp, come on, you don't even look tough. You need to put on your powdered wig. Put on your fucking put on your long ass curly white wig, bro. That's looking pimp. No, don't wear those regular pants. Put on those knickers that go all the way up to your knees with them socks. God damn, he's funny.
And
your
it's still,
macaroni outfit.
Yeah,
it's
man.
pretty much still
You are looking tough, bro.
Yeah.
the only people who dress like that now is English royalty. Nobody's, told them. It's like, come on, man.
Royalty. Not even royalty. It's the barristers. It's
Yeah.
the lawyers in England. And
Uh-huh. Oh yeah, they still do those.
yeah.
Fuck.
I got PBS.
I think, why don't we have, like just show up with that like a traffic court.
Well, I mean, we
Or-
have some of the same sort of things. We just are taking them for granted. We don't think of them as
That'd
weird.
be
Judges
cool.
wear fucking big giant
Uh-huh.
robes,
Robes,
and shit.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what kind of weird bullshit is that?
Uh-huh.
It's the
Why do we
same
need to
thing.
stand because they enter the room?
Oh, and they're very fucking
Uh-huh.
choosy about their rules. It's
Yeah.
take your
Yeah.
hat off, and
You
Then
definitely don't want to be the
you travel
the
and
one
have to
that
get them. Was that?
I say you definitely don't be the one when the judge sits down and eyeballs the people in the thing that his eyes are drawn to.
Uh-huh.
You want to be dressed, just under the radar for sure.
Yeah.
I always enjoyed. Well, I don't like being in court, but I enjoy watching other people's court stuff. It's fun.
It can be. Sometimes it's depressing.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a fine line, It's like watching
Mhm.
that show Intervention. It's a fine line. Sometimes it's like the most entertaining shit you've ever seen. And sometimes you're just like, oh,
Yeah. I'm too cynical to
bad for
watch
this
it anymore. Like,
I don't think they do it anymore. So
I thought they come out with some new ones, but
Oh,
it's
did
like
they?
if you haven't heard of it by now, they're not. It's intervention. Why? It's like there's no way you can. be
yeah, you're not
tricked
gonna
into
trick
it
so you
anymore.
in other words, you don't think you're gonna trick the guy who's huffing fucking paint into thinking he's in a documentary to film the setup.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe, yeah. Even if you've been under a rock, you still stumbled into some episode here and there, or somebody brought it up at one of the circles.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. It'd be like going on Naked and Afraid and being surprised you had to get naked. Like, what? I'm sure people have told other people that that's what they're on, but no, you're going to be brutalized. Anyway, sorry to bring it.
I think Chad and I are
Yeah.
just watching Chaille lean back and forth.
I just
Yeah.
noticed that my hair is almost like that guy's hair.
To make it
Uh-huh.
go-
Yeah, it's
There's like a
distracting,
one spot,
sorry.
one perfect spot where it goes away, but it's like
yeah, I don't
such
know.
oh man, it's just that
Oh.
there. Oh, right.
There used to be like the,
Pretty good. Maybe like D. Snyder.
yeah. Those guys weren't going to take it neither.
Nope. Fuck no, they weren't taking it.
Well, the one guy on the right of Ggreg is probably
Well, they might have taken
He's
some.
taking-
They might have taken a little.
He's taking something.
So that's the thing though. It's like the big fucking, that's a wig, but it's like, oh, that dude has a little more money to get a fancier wig, or
This dude here, yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's like that's impressive. It's like you
Look
guys
at
aren't
mine.
Nice fall on the
It's
back
gonna-
there.
And my ass.
unless they played a violin concert after that. They kind of overdid it with the hair. If you're just out at a bar with that, too much hair, fellas.
Well, I mean, they look a lot like Warrant in the 80s, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. Y&T.
Oh, Y&T. Jesus Christ, Shane.
Summertime Girls, man.
Oh my God. Remember Dockin?
Totally. Don Dockin, yeah.
Fuck yeah,
Everyone
man.
knows Dockin, dude.
George Lynch. Wasn't George Lynch his guitar
Yeah, from the
player?
Lynch mod.
The Lynch Mob.
Eventually, yeah.
Man.
Nelson,
they
the
fucking
Nelsons.
tore up. The Nelsons. Fuck
Not
off.
really the same, man. Not really.
Hair-wise,
Yeah,
they're
they
the
fucking
same
had the
dude.
hair. Yeah,
If
Vanilli
you're
had
going
hair.
just for hair, you gotta. I think you'd go with Enough's Enough.
Oh, I don't know
Yeah.
that one.
You don't remember Enough? Chips is Enough.
Oh,
He's the one who gave Madonna a golden shower.
what?
Yeah.
I missed all of that.
Wow, yeah. Dang.
Man, have you seen what
Poor
Madonna looks
Madonna.
like now?
Like she needs a golden shower.
Oh, she looks like she got an acid shower.
Oh, really? Or
She got a
skin-
bunch of plastic surgery and she just
Ew.
looks like not
Yeah.
like the same person at all.
Oh, really?
Not
She
good.
looks like Mickey Rourke.
Oh, yeah. Look at her. She looks like Nelson. Yeah, shit. Is that Meg Ryan with Madonna?
I saw I was trending on the thing the other day, and people were complaining about Madonna, and I was like, "Whoa!"
I'm
agree
pulling it
with
up
those
right now.
people. She may have went a little overboard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, you don't want to do that because you can still be hot when you're old. Looney put up that video on Twitter of Martha Stewart being all fucking
Yeah.
sexy with her pumpkin
saw that.
spice because she didn't fuck with herself. She looks fucking great. Madonna
You
would
don't
have
think she
been
did?
okay.
I bet Martha Stewart did something.
Maybe, but not very much.
Yeah.
because you can
She does
tell
it
when
right, I
you can just
guess.
see, even if they have good work done, you can just see work. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you can see, oh, that's
You
That's
can tell
not
Goldie
natural.
Hawn got upsold
ooh.
Yeah.
when you see
Yeah.
her. Every time they go in there,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, we got some new eyes that came in. You got to check out. Yeah.
She doesn't
Well,
look
yeah.
bad
like-
there. That's not terrible. The lip.
Yeah,
That I
that's-
can't tell these.
I don't think
pictures,
that's
you
the
know?
newest one. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and then some of them could be just the way they're coming up on Google. Someone could just like be posting a shitty
Yeah.
picture, and I don't want to
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson.
it was
had,
trending on Twitter.
real,
Like yesterday.
like Michael Jackson had. You got to that point where it was just like, okay, now it's like way over one too many.
But that's
whatever
the
it is.
thing. Once you've had
Yeah.
one too many, then you can't. Having one more doesn't help.
Can't put the
Yeah.
toothpace back in the tube.
I
But
think
you
it feels
think
like
it-
it
you
feels
think
like
it
he got
will.
about. It feels like he got about 2 or 3 chances at a nose rejob, and then that's it. You can't reconfigure the nose. Like look at Artie Lang. They kept trying to
Oh man.
reconfigure his.
Well, yeah,
nose.
but that was some damn.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
His
That
quick-
wasn't take the hump off of my nose.
I think
That was,
his is.
build
I
my
think he
nose
looks.
back.
I think he got part of Michael Jackson's nose and it fixed his. But that'd be expensive to get a part of Michael Jackson's nose, though. Weirdly, it shouldn't be. You should just.
No,
get-
he explained that a bookie that he owed money to punched him in the nose, and after all the years of putting drugs through it, it completely just fucking wasn't there anymore. There was nothing there.
Yeah.
Cartilage just completely disintegrated.
Yeah, even on Twitter, I can't find the pictures that I saw yesterday. She had that
Maybe-
shit scrubbed.
What?
Good
She
for
got
you,
it. Wow.
Madonna.
Yeah, she had her crew get rid of all that shit.
This is my Madonna right here.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
The like a virgin era, borderline.
I don't- The other Madonna doesn't look that bad to me.
No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying that's the Madonna I grew up with. MTV was.
Oh my god!
And also it wasn't just
amazing.
Madonna, but you'd run into the Madonna. I guess we called them the Madonna wannabes back in the day, but there was always there was like 4 or 5 different Madonna types at any given party.
We got 3 Pat Benetars at Ridgemont.
Yeah. I'm just watching the thing on Joan Jett. This cool ass chick. I'll save it for recommendation. Damn it.
All right.
But yeah, Joan Jett was
Jett's
badass. Cool. Yeah. Cooler than Madonna.
I like Madonna, man. I have like, that was a thing when Madonna was out, it was cool to not like Madonna because I was, a small town little heavy metal kid. But you listen to Madonna now, I think all those songs hold up. I think they're all fucking great. I love it. I can crank on some Madonna on a Friday afternoon and fucking pour a little Pinot Gris for myself. And
you're gonna jam that in the forklift and the
fuck yeah, man.
Oh man,
Tesla.
I got
little Lucky Star.
Lucky Star. Fucking do this shit. Papa, don't preach, baby.
I had that book with the pictures of Madonna, the metal book. It's like that you could have put that under the mill, under your mill you work at, and go be like my mill. You go under there to sweep sawdust. I'm sure there's some sort of shit that you need to sweep in under the.
Andy, I think you'll find that the environment that Mr. Erickson in is vastly different from any kind of situation you were ever in.
The Gigafactory for Tesla in 2022 is a little different than the lumber mill on the fucking edge of the fucking weird town in Oregon.
You mean there's not a spot underneath the floorboards where guys go to look at Spank magazines and take a nap?
Yeah, they just use their phones now.
Yeah, we don't have anybody that jumps on the line and fucking tries to grab the fucking whippets out or whatever the fuck it was that you had to.
You don't have kind of boards killing pigeons.
Whatever it was, you had to grab out of there before they got caught in the blade or whatever.
Yeah,
just the
green line
dangerous fucking stupid idea. Like, well, just send the newest guy down there and have him do it.
Yeah. The least meth, the bigger the mess. Or whatever. Yeah, I don't think I could even go back there if I wanted to. I don't think those exist anymore. Either the mills in Coquille.
No.
I know the one I used to work at is not there anymore. But the other one in town, I'm not sure. It got sized down. If it's there, it's just like a third of what used to be there.
Yeah, they probably have some like one mill open now where they used to have probably 10.
Maybe
they got to downsize.
Maybe it'll come back if people listen to the radio more.
Get your old job back.
Get newspapers. Shit.
Yep.
Andy, where you been? We got a spot for you on the green line. Need someone to loaf.
Oh man,
the green chain. That's what it's called, right?
The green chain.
Yeah,
you got me there, Chaille. The green chain.
Your continuity. I just try to remember.
Yeah, when you said that, I was like, and now I know what was that called.
I think I've talked about this, but there was a film. I think I want to say Vic Morrow was in it. He was in Humanoids, but I may be wrong. But there was a film made in Coquille. Or part of it was filmed in Coquille, and I think the part that was filmed in Coquille was at the mill I used to work at. It was like some killer chasing down. It was probably the same level of Humanoids, but not as cool.
Humanoids from the forest.
At one time, it was called Premonitions, but I
Humanoids on the green line.
Yeah. Oh man, come out and work the green chain, and then rape the women. They come over on break,
These humanoids are taking our job.
Well, they wanted to impregnate. I think they wanted to just have a really good basketball team. So they're raping all the women in town. But the Well, it's a ruin the ending if I tell people how the birth. It isn't a very pleasant birth for the mother.
In Humanoids from the Deep, I think it's
Yeah.
okay if you risk spoiling the ending for anyone. If you
Well, here's what I found amazing about the humanoids is they just paw at a woman and her top would open. It's like, damn, man. Even the humans haven't figured that out. It's like not cut them up or anything, but just like swipe at them and then tits. It's like, I could watch it. I could watch that all the,
rewinding it to try to see what
I would no, that's the thing I don't, you can't do with streaming sometimes.
Wait, there's a pause button.
I forget what the big, remember the record size ones you could watch a movie on?
Laserdisc,
and watching it was one of the Psycho movies, but he's like, "Are you sure, mother?" And then he clonks her on the head with a shovel. And the sound of that, and then her falling out of the chair, and you could just go back and watch it 100 times or whatever.
I remember exactly the scene you're talking about, and it had the best like conk sound.
They should have had. I hope
just
they won an Oscar
absolutely brained her.
Yeah, it was beautiful sound. Clonk, the clonk was great, and then the thonk on the floor. It was all just like, wow, it's like, but you don't notice it when you just watch it once, but when you watch it,
I don't think it was his mother. Wasn't it like somebody who came back to try to help him and was sitting there having coffee, and he was like, supposedly he was reformed. He'd gotten out of insane.
He just had to be in the nervous hospital.
Right. And then they were having coffee, and then that person said something.
I gotta watch about the new one, or are you talking about the old one?
Psycho 2, I think it was.
It was an Anthony Perkins. No, not Anthony Perkins. That's the old fucking Mutual of Omaha dude. Is that Humanoids?
Yeah, that's Humanoids from the Deep. And Dick Morrow was in Humanoids.
How did he do that? It was like a back release. He's like, just got rid of the whole bra and everything. They must have a kind of a exploratory hook that's not sharp. So
now you're like Neil deGrasse Tyson watching a science fiction.
Yeah, so he's like slides one.
Well, actually, there's no way that you could release a bra with a single hook humanoid finger.
The absence of scratches.
There it is.
Yeah.
There's the new mother. She got thonked real good right there.
Is that Anthony Perkins in Psycho 2?
Yeah. Is that his name? Yeah. It was him. Yeah, it was the same guy.
Yeah.
Oh man,
that movie
might have his name. Is that his name?
It's funny that we have a podcast where we talk about old TV shows and movies, but none of us have a good enough memory to remember anything that we're talking about.
I remember,
and we don't research anything in advance, so we also don't know. And none of us, besides Chaille, will look anything up while we're talking about it. So we also still don't know.
Except sometimes somebody else will confirm that it is indeed true without knowing at all if it is indeed true. Yep. Yes.
And then we'll find some Reddit that'll talk, for hours about that particular thing that we're talking about. It's like anything that you're interested in. There's already a huge group that's already done the fucking,
all the legwork.
Probably a band that started because of that thonking noise. Yeah, that's Green Day, man.
Kraftwerk.
They heard that shovel on
very
the
Kraftwerky kind of sound.
It's a viral TikTok. We don't know it.
I mean, never turn your back on Anthony Perkins.
Anybody with a shovel back
with a shovel. Never turn your back on him. In the kitchen, you're going down.
I saw that guy who played the psycho. What was the name of it? I can't even think of the character's name in it.
What are you talking about?
Psycho. I mean, that's the show.
Norman Bates.
The guy actor. Anyway, he played Jimmy Pearsall. Was something we watched in a psychology class.
Fear Strikes Out.
Yeah, he was so he's like getting pigeonholed. He's a baseball player who went nuts. not really nuts, did he? He climbed up and tried to hit people with a bat, but
That's nuts.
By today's
We're a
standards.
little crazy.
Hey, I found that clip. I want to watch it.
All right, here we go.
Oh, nice. The sound's gonna
so
be...
delicious. Look at her. She just needs to have her head fucking stoved in.
You're sure you won't have a sandwich?
Oh yeah, that's right. You sure you won't have a...
Collapsed the whole fucking chair.
See, it still holds up, man.
Yikes.
I would say that yes, she is sure that she will not have a sandwich.
But whether she wanted it or not, she's not going to eat it.
I don't remember the rest of the scene. Just
now
like
he's
talking.
got a new. See, now he's got a new
Here's the
mother.
slow-mo. Oh man, that was brutal. I love that they went back and did the slow-mo that we would watch it.
Yeah, that's a.
Hold on.
I wonder how many takes it took. How many? Was that like one take, or was that like?
Well, it's weird because see how the head's down. That could be a stunt man right there.
Oh, it's definitely a.
No, I'm just saying this because it did. I couldn't see the break like where they would put CGI, and then that bat. My brother makes those all the time, like foam. But it is that person's taking a hit from something that isn't as hard as a shovel, but it still has some heft behind it. That's someone who's prepared for the shot.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That sound engineer is the one who did the
the Foley artist.
That's the Oscar for sound editing right there, because the timing was perfect and it was absolutely.
Yet the chair that's in 12 pieces made zero noise.
How does a chair break like that? You hit him on the head. The face would have gone into the table. Now we're picking it apart. We loved it 3 seconds ago.
Well, they also have termites at the old hotel.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. It turns out the chair was just about to fall apart on.
Oh, the chair was rigged. He rigged the chair. That was part of the whole plan.
He rigged it with implosives.
Yeah.
How about they redo that movie and have Anne Ramsey as that lady, and she gets up after he hits her with a shovel.
Yeah. Or that she just Anne Ramsey gets knocked down and then she goes like this, like
give me that.
Her hair.
Let me show you how to swing this goddamn thing.
Is that the biggest shovel you got?
Lights a cigarette up. Takes a puff from her throat. God rest her soul.
So there you go, Chaille. Try to find Psycho 2 while you're out on the road for your Halloween. That was a pretty good movie.
I could just watch that over and over again.
But that was the opening. That's how the movie starts.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because that's how now he's got a new mother that he can.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
So he's fresh out of the nervous hospital, and
just so everyone remembers who the wonderful Anne Ramsey is.
Oh my God!
Mama from the Train and Goonies.
Goonies.
She was something else.
They're goddamn kids. I can smell their bubble gum.
That's a fine. I saw that as a movie coming back from Denver, and so then I couldn't hear most of it.
Saw
so
what?
I watched it. The Goonies.
Goonies?
Just saw the Goonies.
Someone else
again.
is watching. You looked over their
No,
shoulder?
I was watching it, but I had, it's like hard to hear those movies on a plane because they're always squawking and shit with.
Well, you have to have like a ear
headphones.
I had them on.
They don't just play out of.
Anyway,
something's wrong with my sound.
I watched it.
Excuse
Maybe
me?
I didn't. I finished it.
Ding,
and I finished
ding,
it.
ding. Excuse me. My movie's not.
Can you tell that guy to turn up his computer? I can't hear shit over here.
And they're like, and the stewardess is like, oh man, that guy that has fucking shit all over his shoes is fucking dinging his belly again.
What's those shit shoes want now? More headphones?
Clean that shit off, man. I didn't know it was me.
Oh, fuck.
God
damn it.
Fixing up some more marijuana.
Cleansing breath. Cheers, you guys.
I have
Good
to
see
pick
you.
up. I have to pick. I'm drinking. Someone gave us some non-alcoholic pale ale that I took from a green room.
What?
Yeah,
Oh.
pretty good.
Ugh.
That's
It's pretty good.
a terrible idea.
No, it
Ugh.
tastes good. But I got to pick up Bingo. Bingo's coming out to Raleigh
Oh,
tonight,
nice.
and
Oh, really?
yeah, and she
So
was.
you got to be alcohol free.
Yeah, and I got some edibles, but I'm like, I just gotta wait. And then we're the show's here tomorrow night, so we got a night off here.
Nice.
We don't have to travel tomorrow. But Bingo got a Doug bought her a clown costume,
Huh?
like not just
Another
one of those one-piece jumper things, but the thing with the hoop skirt that goes around, like it would. She's the only one who could get into an elevator kind of
Right.
thing. And
Mm.
I'm like, hey, she's not wearing that on the plane, is she? And he's like, oh shit. Because she had already left for the airport. I'm like, that's probably the only clothes she's gonna put, because we have her luggage here with us. We brought it out with us already.
Oh, shit.
she-
Yeah.
She tries to get on a plane wearing a fucking hoop skirt, or a hoop fucking outfit.
Uh-huh.
They're gonna tell her no. Yeah, so I
She
think
may
we caught
make
her
it.
in time.
If she was on train, she'd be able to allowed.
Oh yeah, train, you can wear whatever you want.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, clowns. Trains are full of clowns.
Yeah. That'll be the first time with Bingo on the road.
That'll be fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. She's gonna
So where do you go from North Carolina then?
go.
In
Some other
Florida?
place that's exactly like North Carolina.
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
We got Raleigh, Richmond, Virginia Beach, Wilmington. We canceled the show in where was that? Charleston.
Good.
Yeah, it was the one, Erickson. It was the one where you and all the way Aldrich were kissing behind Doug.
Oh my God. That's the
Remember that
best
place?
picture I have. That's my greatest photo bomb of all time.
You remember that place?
I absolutely do remember that.
Fucking Burns Alley, where we go.
We
out.
also got I believe, got our car booted
booted.
there.
Exactly.
The
The fucking owner
talent,
goes, park right there. I go,
Doug Stanhope got his van booted for parking right in the front of the place. That was a night.
because the owner said, no, it's cool. You can park there. I go, but
It's
it
cool.
says in the sign,
about
that this belongs to the condo association. It's cool. I'll take care of it. You're fine. And then then when I go out there, and I'm like, the fuck? There's a boot on there. So I have to call. And the guy comes out and to take the boot off. And this is all this guy does at night is go around and boot people's cars and then collect $100 to take the boot off because you parked illegally. I'm like, what the fuck is going on with this guy? And he goes, oh, that guy, he's a dick. He does this all the time. I'm like, what
Yeah.
the? He told me, go ahead and park there. Yeah, and it was just, and then I look back before this gig, I was looking at some of the reviews, the Yelp reviews, and a couple of people said the same thing. Fuck this guy, and then like, yeah, we got booted, like parking out in front. This place sucks, and I'm like, Doug, this is not looking good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got an extra night off.
Speaking of clowns, I was looking for the picture you were just talking about, Chaille, because I have it in a couple different places on my phone. But one of the very first pictures I just came across. You guys, maybe you can't see it. You won't be able to see it.
Kind of tough. Oh yeah.
Oh
it's
yeah,
Andy
yeah.
with
I
the
know which
clown
one that
face.
is. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Kiss
That's
and
a good one.
Chaille.
Let's put that one on the old Patreon.
Yeah.
I'll show you one that came up, Erickson, when I was when we were in Cleveland. I found this picture.
Oh my God. Fucking Pierre.
That's when I was I had a jumper like the old guys wear.
Uh-huh.
And you see in the background, that's Erickson.
Oh shit.
Wow.
This
It's
is
like
when
a
we
young
ran into the
Stephen
Sklar brothers.
Buscemi and
Oh my God. Yeah. We made Doug hang out with the Sklar brothers while we didn't.
Best
Uh-huh.
decision of the night.
Oh man.
yeah, I hung out with one of those guys.
Chaille, go back to you on that picture. You look like you work at the White Lotus.
Groundskeeper.
You could be you could be Murray or
Yeah.
whatever that guy's name was
You
that
could
ran
be-
the White
You
Lotus.
could be ass eating Murray.
I gotta watch that again. I know the new season came out, but it just won't be the
Oh, really?
same without that guy. Spoiler alert.
The new
I haven't
season
seen it.
Oh
Is it out
man,
already?
the first season of White Lotus is fantastic because I don't think they expected it wasn't written like there was ever going to be a second season. It was written as
it'll be
one
interesting.
story arc that
So
plays.
why do they do that? Why do they?
Because it
going?
was so successful, they realized they could
Yeah.
still go on with it.
And
do
they
it
killed
again.
off the best character.
Yeah, but it's really, really Chaille, you should watch it. It's fucking fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
I decide I'm gonna watch Ozark finally,
I've been thinking about watching that too.
but we just found out.
It's interesting that you guys both say that because I was going to bring up Ozark earlier. The big
recommendation?
giant mausoleum style crypt plays a very large role in the show Ozark. So you look for that as you enjoy your sojourn through southwestern Missouri.
Your bequeathed sojourn.
You can bequeath all over everybody.
Read a goddamn book once in a while.
Oh shit, dude. Honestly,
You're
Philistines,
right, man.
Chad. Philistines.
Yeah.
Don't let them bring you down to their level, Chad. You stay where you are. You're doing
Who I
great.
am.
Right on. Good for you.
Yeah. Me and Brett are the snowflakes, and Chad is the smart one.
How am I the erudite of this group?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're alpha on all levels.
I'll never like my favorite one of my favorite stand-up comedy jokes is Brian Regan, who on one of his last specials, this was the name of the special.
You got to act it out like he
Funniest.
does.
Well, this one didn't need to be acted out, but Brian Regan's fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
But the joke was that the guy said, basically describing Brian Regan's style was, oh, that guy just says all of his words wrong. Literally, every one of his words he just says wrong. And Brian Regan goes, well, that is the epitome of hyperbole. And I just thought that was fantastic.
Didn't act it out.
Yeah, I saw a picture of him at the.
And then I do a dolphin going across the top of the water.
We were just at the Comedy Zone in where was that?
Comedy Zone.
Charlotte.
Charlotte.
Fucking there's Brian Regan has a 8x10 there.
Brian Regan used to play that place all the time. In fact, I opened up for Brian Regan at the Comedy Zone in Charlotte, and he used to open with this fucking hilarious joke about the fact that the airport in Charlotte is called Douglas International Airport.
Mm-hmm.
And he would do a bit, he acted out very well, where he was like, he thought it was just a guy named Doug who named the airport, and he was like out there painting it like Douglas, and he's like painting the big Doug on the fucking name of the airport. It was probably took him 5 minutes to tell that joke at the beginning, and it absolutely destroyed. That guy's just really good.
I always liked Brian Regan. He's not the one that went off the fucking rails. No, that's Jim Brewer.
Yeah, Jim Brewer.
Jim Brewer really hates us people who got shots.
I will tell you this: Brian Regan came into the Comedy Store a couple times right before the pandemic hit, and he would never had been like a Comedy Store guy before that. But he was like so happy to be there and was like so embraced by every single comedian there that he came into the back into Carrie's bar in VIP, and like every single person from fucking Rogan and fucking Bill Burr, everybody was like, oh my God, Brian Regan. And Brian Regan, you could see him like getting like emotional about it. Like he had the greatest time. It made me so happy to see, because a guy like that absolutely fucking deserves it. He is, for just stand-up comedy, he's almost untouchable. He's as good at stand-up comedy as anybody is, without a doubt. They just couldn't quite figure out what to do with him. They should have been able to make a sitcom out of him somehow, but it never quite materialized. And all he's ever done is destroy fucking comedy clubs and theaters.
But isn't he on a show He's on a show now, but it's like
maybe
he's not a lead, but yeah.
Like what? Like a sitcom or something?
I can't remember what. Yeah, not a sitcom. No, it's not a sitcom. It's more
News?
Like
Is he a newscaster?
it's not news. Man, it's been a minute.
Go watch any old Brian Regan stand-up special though, and you will just be fucking giggling your goddamn dick off.
Yeah, when I used to work at the newspaper, I'd have to drive around a lot the early mornings, and I would listen to the XM comedy, and I would love, man, one of my favorites.
Oh man,
Brian. That guy is fucking always hilarious.
And his brother's funny too. He's got a fucking
really?
brother that's funny. But how are you going to be funnier than your brother Brian? You know what I mean? Like,
well, Pat and
Dennis
Oswald's
Regan
brothers
is his
comic.
name, and Dennis Regan is also pretty funny, but and you know, successful enough, but not as successful as Brian.
Like Pat and Oswald's brother, and then Chris Rock's brother, too.
Yeah,
Right?
Tony Rock is pretty funny.
Tony Rock's touring. We see his dates and the improvs and the funny.
Tony Rock's probably the most successful of that group. I don't know that Pat and Oswald's brother, does he even do comedy? I know he does, like he's like an artist.
I don't know.
He's a big guy on Twitter, right? He takes pictures of liquor stores.
Yep.
He's funny on Twitter. I don't know if he's a stand-up.
Are you talking about Louder Milk?
No.
Brian Regan's brother?
No, it's Brian Regan being in the show Louder Milk.
Oh,
2017.
maybe that's it. Yeah, that's it.
I think somebody recommended that to me a while back.
Yeah, Will Sasso.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. Somebody recommended that. I didn't see it. Let me write that down.
Yeah, I heard him on a podcast talking about like because he's clean comic, and he lives in Vegas, never does shows in Vegas, and just goes out and crushes doing theaters all over the country. I think he dodged a bullet not getting a sitcom, because I mean he can
maybe, but
I mean the fucking shows.
The problem is, I mean, the cash in from that is just immense. If you do a sitcom and you just get any sort of syndication, then that's the fucking slot machine that hits
never stops ringing.
It just keeps pouring money out onto you.
But I mean, if compared to a person with a regular job, I mean, he would be considered wealthy.
He made a lot of money,
right?
He made a lot of money doing stand-up, without a doubt. He you know, the last 20 years of his life, he's played nothing but theaters.
Yeah,
you know, he's doing very, very well.
Yeah,
but he's so funny. I mean, he's a lot funnier than a lot of the other guys who got sitcoms, I guess would be the point. You know, if you just watch them do stand-up, you'd be like, oh, Brian Regan's funnier than Tim Allen.
Yeah.
You know,
I'd rather bounce one over the fence and stand on second all by myself than hit a grand slam and have everybody fucking around you around a fucking home
you still
plate.
know they're gonna knock you in. You're still crossing home plate.
Yeah.
But you don't have to worry about it.
That's a good one, Chad. You still got to hit the ball really hard, and it felt good when you did it.
Yeah.
Still got
that's
numbers.
really what matters.
Yeah. Oh,
That's a good
nice. I like this.
Good for you. Oh. Did you guys hear that?
What's that?
That was my neck cracking.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the.
Been doing yoga too, Erickson?
No, I haven't.
He's been doing that daydreaming yoga on the driving around.
Hey, Erickson, you hit Chad's Twitch the other day, right?
Yeah, I joined in right after you left. Yeah, I got home from we were doing some shit. I forgot all about it, but I jumped on at the end for the last, like, I don't know, half an hour, 45 minutes. Mm-hmm. It was great. It was a lot of fun.
That was one of the funnest days. Andy took us on a drive.
I missed that.
He took us to the what is it called, Andy?
The Saturday market.
The Saturday market. Toured us all around to all the different displays. Ate some corn with us, and it was.
And you ate corn on camera?
I had some really sloppy corn.
I've seen it all.
And then I went and talked to my friend who's a glass blower. And then as I walked away from there and I'm talking to Chad and he sees my face and he goes, you might want to wipe your face off. So I ate the corn and it had all this shit on it. And I started wiping and I had like a tremendous amount of shit that fell off my face. So then I went back to the glass blower guy and I go, hey man, let me explain what was going on here.
I was doing a bit for a comedy show.
Yeah. And he goes, well, we were just talking about that. They were discussing like, cause I was walked all up the street and mixed with people and shit. And I had that, I just looked like I was having a good time.
Yeah. You look like the guy that was, working the glory hole.
Yeah, maybe that, or maybe, there was, somebody who was supposed to be keeping a better eye on me because I'm dangerous out in public or whatever. Not dangerous.
So
to people,
were you like
but
just FaceTiming? Like you were just kind of like
I just kept the Zoom going and then I drove down because I was like, I got stoned.
Sometimes
and
we
then
had his ear. We could see his ear while he listened to us.
He's holding it up like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got a real natural Larry Bud Melman thing going.
It was so much fun.
I missed that.
Yeah. And
Andy Bud Melman.
Yeah. Remember him? He was always like,
of course.
Yeah, he was great.
Calvin,
I guess I still DeForest.
Calvin DeForest.
Nice. Yeah, he was one of those little gems that Letterman's show brought out.
David Letterman show is the best television show of all time.
He was backstage when I was at Letterman during one of Mitch's performances. He was back in the green room and it was like seeing fucking just a superstar.
Oh my God.
It's weird. He was like, and there's like some chick with him too. It's like, dude, this guy's slaying pussy. What the fuck is going on with this guy?
Of course he is.
Yeah.
My oh my. Remember Joe Piscopo's stupid impression of Letterman.
Remember I think Chaille was talking about Calvin DeForest though. Weren't you talking about Larry Bud Melman or were you talking about Dave?
Yeah.
Oh really? Oh yeah.
He's talking about Larry Bud having
I thought you were talking about Letterman.
No, I never saw him.
You see Larry in the back there from the back flight and shit.
No, he was in the green room while the show was on. And I was in the green room.
Hi, help yourself to some cookies.
You want a popcorn ball?
I don't even remember him talking.
Didn't he have a big suit on too? He usually had
he's a little dude in a big suit.
Yeah, he's probably the best Letterman. I wouldn't say sidekick because that would be Paul Schaefer, I guess. But
he was his best character.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Johnny Carson was like the epitome of late night talk shows, but Letterman sort of perfected it. Letterman perfected it. Letterman launched himself up onto a thing in a Velcro suit, he dropped shit off of a roof and watched it break. Like when Letterman was done doing that, everyone else just did variations of Letterman's show and none of them have ever been as good. Yeah. No one gives a fuck now,
And
now it's over.
I feel like he was at least, he had a long run at one place, but he started out with the daytime show.
Yeah.
And he's kind of like went into it like feeling like the plug was going to be pulled at any time.
I think he got canceled on his
he did.
Like really early on too.
Yeah. And then I think he moved around for a minute on late night, didn't he? Or did he? Well, he had his long-term thing, but that always felt like it was kind of that same energy of the show that the plug could get pulled on and they were just doing really weird and bending.
Originally he was on after Carson and that was the whole point that he was going to take over for Johnny. That was but his post Carson show was the substitute teacher has taken control of the late night show, so it's going to get wild, it's going to get stupid.
Yeah, he was definitely, that was
God.
The show. I would stay up late and watch it because
that's one of my favorite things about being just tangentially involved in the Comedy Store is that's where Letterman started out. Like to think about that dude going into the Comedy Store as like just a nerd, kind of a geeky tall nerd with some weird one-liners that weren't great. He didn't even do that well at stand-up really, but he was just, people liked him, Like that's how he ended up with a contract to be on TV, because he wasn't as funny as a lot of those other guys were, but he was so much more interesting, and you just saw it play out, you know.
Did you see the
It's fascinating to
documentary?
me to think about that history of that place, that he was, that's where it all started.
Did you see the documentary on the Comedy Store with Letterman, where he talks about what he was doing back
The
then
one
when
that
he was-
Showtime just did?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got cut out of it.
Oh well.
Yeah, they had a whole section.
I was talking
on
about
the
Letterman,
podcast
not your
studio.
part. I was
They had
talking
a
about
whole
Letterman.
section on the podcast studio in the basement, and they cut it all out.
Letterman was talking about what it was like when he was there. But he would go home and write, and he'd drink alone. It was kind of sad.
Yeah.
But you know, he just really didn't fit in LA, and I never knew that about him and his history. But he was a writer. He just sat and wrote and got drunk every night by himself.
Yeah, he
didn't want to be drunk in front of everyone else.
He used to put Jimmy Walker on to his show anytime Jimmy Walker wanted to be on or needed to be on, because Jimmy Walker was the first guy that gave him a job. He wrote jokes for Jimmy Walker, and he wrote for Good Times, and you know, that's how he got his start. So he always, you know, that without him, he's like, without that, I would have nothing would have ever happened. I would have
Dynamite Kid
gone back to Indiana.
The Dynamite Kid blew off the, you know, blew an opening for David Letterman. Some shit. But
Andy, I love it when you think that you haven't talked in a while and you just need to say something.
It could be Catcher. Like I'd buy that for $1. We got to work on that. Hey, you guys want to do some recommendations?
Sure, why not? I still don't have any, so you guys go.
I'll start because I don't have. I've been like falling asleep right at night and putting something on. I cannot find a fucking horror to save my life. I think I'm just gonna go to YouTube and find some movies there and watch it. But I did see something last night where if you just give it a little time, just to watch the first episode, I believe it's on HBO. It's called Gunpowder. There is a horrific scene where they disembowel a young priest and then chop his body up. That's fucking pretty graphic.
Are they just trying to save money on mortician fees?
They put him in a pizza oven.
Smaller box. Put him in a pizza oven.
They just leave his torso in a laundromat.
Gunpowder. I'm sold.
I mean, it's not even something I would even watch the rest of the thing because it's about Catholicism and stuff like that. But it's got some of the actors from Game of Thrones.
Oh, really?
And it's got and this scene was like I was watching it because I'm like, oh, this looks interesting. Let's just watch this. I was just gonna fall asleep to it. I had 3 different horrific nightmares last night.
Nice.
So you did get to see a horror movie.
What's that? Well, I mean, but it was a sideways one. It's like, oh fuck, we'll just watch this because Tracy recognized John Stark is in it or something, right? So I'm like, all right, whatever.
Jon Snow. And
when they fucking disemboweled him, I was like, what the fuck? I mean, yeah. I turned it off after that, and then it was done. The imprint was done on my brain. Gunpowder on
All right.
HBO. Yo, watch the first half hour. It's worth it.
All right.
I got a kind of a twofer, but it's still the same thing. Jenny and I don't have the same tastes of stuff, so we have to compromise on stuff. So the other night we compromised and decided we would try to watch The Sandman on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
And we watched all but the last 3 episodes in a row because that is fucking interesting and cool as shit.
Nice.
I have since gone on. The twofer part is that I have since gone on to listen to half, which equals about 6.5 hours of the Audible audio drama by Neil Gaiman, The Sandman on Audible. I didn't even know it was a DC universe story, but I'll tell you what, The Sandman is an interesting goddamn story.
Neil
And,
Gaiman is, we've talked about him. He's
Yes.
incredible.
Yes.
He's incredible. I fucking love him.
Well, so the Netflix show, 10 episodes. Yeah, Tracy, if you haven't seen it, you'll very much enjoy it.
He started it, and that's what got me into it. I've seen I think 2 episodes, just haven't had a
Wow,
chance.
they go by so fast.
Yeah.
It's so we zipped through 10 episodes in 2 days.
Wow, nice.
So that's
All right,
mine.
I mentioned mine earlier. Are you done, Chad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, when Chad puts the bowl up to his mouth and lights it.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. So I already mentioned mine, but Tubi has a bunch of if you're not looking for horror flicks and looking for music stuff, they have a ton of music stuff. But I was watching Joan Jett's Bad Reputation, and there's not a lot of stuff about her that I've seen, so it's kind of interesting. I was obsessed with her for a while in the 80s, like everybody, but she's a pretty badass lady, and all through her years she's
on tour with Motley Crue
right
and
now,
Def Leppard,
and
I think Poison, and she opens up the show and she's slaying it.
Yeah, she's better than all of them probably.
So yeah, that's on there, so it's worth watching.
She's an interesting chick. She had a long history. Wasn't she in the Runaways?
Yeah,
she was the Runaways, and then and then started her own label.
Yeah, and she loves rock and roll.
Wow, a long history, and she loves
you've tried
rock and roll.
Yeah. Download the Jukebox app on your phone, baby.
All right. Well, I don't really have a recommend. I honestly, I haven't watched shit. But I will tell you this, since Chad was talking about Neil Gaiman, I mentioned this last week. But Chad, if you're looking for the next thing to jump to, it's a completely different thing, completely different sort of thing, but it's still Neil Gaiman. He did a show called Good Omens. And I think it's on Amazon Prime. Let me look.
And the audiobook is in my wish list. I'm already listening to Neverwhere.
Right,
in addition to the other one, but that one, look at Tracy. I'm already hooked on all of these.
So Good Omens. I'll just read you the little blurb about it right here. This fantasy series sees fussy angel Aziraphale and loose living demon Crowley team up to form an unlikely duo. The two have become overly fond of life on Earth, and they are forced into forming an alliance in an attempt to stop the approaching Armageddon. So like Armageddon's coming, and both of them have a pretty good life. One's an angel, one's a demon, and they're like, how can we slow this fucking thing down? And in the show, David Tennant plays Crowley, who was in Harry Potter. There it is right there.
Yep.
It's very funny. I fucking laughed all the way through it. I thought it was fantastic. So That's another Neil Gaiman thing. Like the guy is just really, really good. It's just like Sandman. It's got a lot of like dime store philosophy thrown in, and like kind of like deeper jokes, and just it's fantastic. So in fact, I may have to go rewatch that before I get
right on.
So there you go. I did have a recommendation after all.
Look at that. Sideways came in. Nailed it. You're standing on second.
Yeah.
Yep. I just hit a fucking ground rule double. Fuck
right
you guys.
there.
I was going to hit it harder, but I decided not to.
Yeah. Why?
Perfect place. Perfect ball placement.
Fuck yeah. All right. Is that it? Did we do it?
Yeah.
We did it. All right, you guys. Thank you guys for being out there. Thanks for being a part of this. We certainly love you. If you have a friend who doesn't know about us, tell them about us, and get more people to join on the YouTube. Like and subscribe to the channel. Spread it around. Share the link if you'd like. If you're on Patreon, that's even better. We do fun stuff on Patreon. We've finally cracked the case. Chad mentioned it earlier. When Chad did the Twitch stream, a few of us jumped on. We finally got Andy out there in the world on his phone doing things, which is the only thing I've ever asked him to do for this show. This is episode 187, and he's finally doing it. And by the way,
one in the can.
But the one time he finally did do it, did it for 9 people on Twitch. Didn't do it in any way.
No,
on
Twitch was
anything.
suspended by then because somebody posted dick sucking.
Oh yeah, it was
pictures.
dick sucking.
So
we
he
weren't
did
even
it
on
for
Twitch by
8
then.
people on Zoom.
8 people on Zoom saw it. You know who you are. You know how lucky you are. But more stuff like that will be happening on Patreon. So if you enjoy what we do, join our Patreon. It's very cheap. It's just $5 a month, and you'll get all of this and some extra stuff that when we do fun, goofy shit like that. So thank you very much, and we'll be right back here next week. I think we'll be back next week. We don't have anything coming up. Chaille, you're on the road? I know you're.
We'll talk about it after when we clear out.
I think we'll be back.
Yeah,
we'll be back.
Could
We'll
be,
see you next
might
time.
be.
Right here. All right. We love you guys. We'll see you. Cheers.